This conference will now be recorded.
Now let's start with the key points and summary of this AICT sponsored faculty development program. On the very first day, the first session was taken by inaugural session taken by Dr. K. Srinivas. He's serving as a head ICT and Project Management Unit, National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, deemed to be university, Ministry of Education, Government of India. He emphasized on the very first day, he emphasized the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. The need of the hour, let us make this lockdown as an opportunity and relevant. 1 minute, please. Give me a time. Let us use this lockdown as an opportunity and relevant to the present situation. That is a very important time now these days. We have to involve ourselves in so many activities that we can presently avail. And another thing, we have to engage and interact with the students continuously through any convenient from suitable to your and your students. And we have to adapt the changes that to be relevant, since technology and digital initiative have possibilities to revolutionize higher education. We need to be engage ourselves with the students and with the other activities for research publication. We have to engage ourselves during this lockdown. Another thing that is again very important aspect is building the competency of teacher for the online teaching. We have to build ourselves. We need to be compatible with the online teaching. We have to design new curriculum, we have to set the new goals and objectives and activities. And another thing is make teacher and learner new roles in teaching and learning relationships, and faculty must release control of learning to the students. We have to continuously interact with the students. And another important issue is the instructor must take the role of facilitator rather than a what we can say, we have to play a role of facilitator, and we need to give the information to our students. And another thing, we are giving the solution and guiding for the solution to the students. Another this is the first session taken by Dr. K. Srinivasan, and this the first session of first day on 7th was taken by Dr. Safal Batra. He's an assistant professor. He's a associate professor, IIM Kashipur. He talked about, he emphasized on developing students leader, and how many types of leader learners are there. He emphasized three main particular types of learners. The one is a visual learner, another is auditory learner, third one is a kinesthetic learners. Trust their hand, they are the doers. Understand that every student have a different learning style, and so provide right kind of material to the students. Here is a very important thing, we have to provide the right kind of the material to our students. How do we keep going? That means we have to focus on four main things: maintaining your focus, your willpower, your disciplined approach, and the another one is a
Can we come to the last slide, previous slide?
Here are the three types of learner: visual learner, auditory learner, kinesthetic learner. And visual learner, we have to trust on our eyes more. And auditory, that means we have to hear each and everything from the student side, and we have to hear each and every aspect, whatever we have to, we need to take care of all the things. Kinesthetic, that means trust their hand, they are the doers, and we have to do so many tasks. And we before that, we need to understand students, all students having a different learning style. We need to provide a right kind of material to the students. Another thing is how do we keep going? Four more important things. We have to give the redesigning our lives, maintaining focus, pushing yourself out of the comfort zone. We have to, and if we are teaching one subject, and we have to shift that focus to the another subject areas, another expertise areas, rather than whatever we are taking presently. And we have to build the new habits, and these all things make a outcome of deliberate practice. And skill and partial results will be there if we are doing these kind of the things. Most important leadership competencies, according to Harvard Business Review, he emphasized four important competencies. The one is high ethical and moral standards. We have to, and 2 and 3 examples he have given in the session. We have to communicate clearly with our students, and clearly communicate expectation by the mentor's help. Have clear goal with the loose direction. We have to, if you remember, he has given a very good example. He have given that assignment, which kind of the goals we have to go with our students, and have clear goal with the loose direction is the right answer for that assignment. And we have to improve the interaction. That means we have to be patiently listen, and speaking class is very important. We have to increase the interaction with the students also. And the first day of third session was taken by Dr. Renu Dheer. She is an associate professor and head IT department of computer science and engineering, NIT Jalandhar. And she emphasized the importance of interdisciplinary teaching and learning. That is a very important. She emphasized what is a interdisciplinary teaching. When involving two or more academic and scientific or artistic discipline, we have to involve each 2 or 3 discipline together. That's why we have now we are having interdisciplinary learning, interdisciplinary studies these days. It involved a broad range of practical and relevant subjects necessary for developing a breadth of understanding. Another thing is it is about creating something by thinking across boundaries. We have to think about think beyond our subject expertise. Why this interdisciplinary learning is important? Because it enables teachers and learners to make connection across learning through exploring clear and relevant link across the curriculum. That's again a very important in these days. Or we can say an education policy, what we are new education policy in 2020, they are talking about interdisciplinary learning. And what are the 9-step approach to interdisciplinary learning and teaching? We have to define, present, identify, and conduct. And after that, we have to develop, and then study or create and combining. That's again a very important thing when we are talking about 9-step approaches to our interdisciplinary teaching and learning. We have to create, we have to combine 2 or 3 disciplines together. And how we connecting each other, that means engineering with the management or some another field, we have to connect these fields together, because so many things are there in current scenario. If we are imparting the education of engineering, we are also giving 2 or 3 subjects of management, how to deal with that problem, how to manage with that problem. We have to be very efficient. We have how to get the better productivity if we are like if we are putting some kind of practical efforts in that particular assignment. Another thing, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Here we are helping students and learn and appreciate a relevant school of subject are tied together, how each subject build on the other. Another, when we are talking about disadvantages, the information is not properly shared with all the professions. Might be a clash between the information, but when we are talking about advantage of interdisciplinary learning, the teaching lesson carried out in a dynamic or orderly manner. We have to. Students can apply the skill and knowledge that learned in a various field easily. If they know how to handle that particular task, if they are having a 2-3 subjects in a engineering regarding management, it's easy for the students to apply that knowledge in a very particular fields. Another disadvantage is communication is sometimes a challenge. So again, disadvantages, if we are studying we are talking about interdisciplinary teaching or learning. Another limitation or barrier to interdisciplinary research, we have to overcome the misunderstanding, assumptions, methodology, and vocabulary. Another important thing, how to write joint publication. That means we have to associate with the particular field, area of activity. Another brief or few word and concise in a just few pages, that is a discursive style, replacing one orthodox with another, and we are losing the speciality. It might be a barrier to interdisciplinary research. Another, on the very first day, the last session was taken by Dr. Sandeep Kumar. He is Associate Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, IIT Roorkee. He emphasizing using digital tool for handling challenges in online teaching. He described teachers having a big responsibility, like unlike other professions. We do not show your weakness to we do not show our weaknesses to the students. We never even share our frustration with our students. Do not share your personal life also, and we do not share our problems also. Try to be a role model. Ultimate teacher is also human being ultimately. We are, as a teacher, we are also a human being, but we try to become a role model for our students. Again, it's a big responsibility. Like our we are, as a teachers, we are having a big responsibility. We are a creator of the society, and we try to be a role model for our students. Another useful features he talked about, what is the online engineering tools, what are the features. The first, he shared average learning retention rate is very less in when we are talking about lectures. Teaching other, that means 90%. Practice by doing, that we got a 75%. Discussion, if we are discussing something in a group, that means the result we are getting, that is a 50%. If we're showing some kind of demonstration, that is a audio visual demonstration is 30%, audiovisual 20%, reading is just 10%, and lecture is these are the retention rates when whatever we are providing to the students, how they getting it is like a pyramid. Drawing screen, paint screen, sharing windows, tab screen, teach programming, virtual labs are there now these days, teaching drawing, tech, circuit design, all the things are there when we are talking about useful feature. Second day on 8th December, we have declared off because of due to Bharat Bandh, college declared off. That's why we have 8th session, all the sessions shifted on 19th. So on 9th December, day second, the first session was taken by Dr. Sonia Chawla, Associate Professor, Department of Humanities and Management, NIT Jalandhar. She emphasizing the Reinventing Horizons Education 4.0. Again, it's a very important thing. Education is to provide knowledge, know how to do things rightly, and another one is a wisdom to set priorities work, corrected to make trustworthy and respectable member of society. 1.0, we are talking about lecture and memorization. 2.0, when we are talking about internet enabled learning is there. 3.0, knowledge producing education. Now we are entered into 4.0. That means we all always emphasizing innovating, producing education. That means we have to use both the things. Here we can take the example of now these days we are taking the classes online, we are taking where virtual labs are there, and these things are under a 4.0, that is called innovative producing education. Another thing, she emphasized on a 4 eyes of learning in education 4.0, that is imbibing, interacting, interpreting, interest, and innovating. Imbibing, internalizing basic concept; interpreting, practicing fundamental skill rigorously; interpreting, taking fact from the study and applying them to different situation with the adaptive alternative; interest, developing enough curiosity about the subject as to develop and create further body of knowledge. Another thing she emphasizing on innovating. We have to think differently and come up with the original concept, and we have to build innovative ideas, products, and services. For example, we are giving the service through teaching. That is again, education is a very important particular point among our students. Education 4.0 require a paradigm shift, that is a demand lead instead of supply led. Understand what learners want. We have to understand what students actually want from us. Another, competency based instead of knowledge based. We have to competent based instead of knowledge based, and we have to incorporate descriptive technology and skill sets. Lifelong learning instead of front loaded learning. Modular degree instead of one shot going. Emphasis on EQ then IQ. EQ is emotional quotient, then intelligence IQ. Emotional quotient is very important than intelligent quotient. Skills required for learning. Here are 3 kind of skills are there: learning and innovative skills, that we are including critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaboration, creativity, innovation. Another thing, we have to involve a digital literacy skill, information theory, media literacy, information and communication, that is called ICT literacy. Career and life skill, we have to learn for ourselves and was for students, flexibility and adaptability. Initiative and self directions, social and cross cultural interaction is there. Productivity and leadership skills, still we need to how to handle the students. These things are very much important. uh, uh, Second day, the second session was taken by the by Dr. Nidhi Fatela. She's a deputy director, Symbiosis International, deemed University Pune. The role of technology in improving quality of teaching in higher education. She emphasized on role of technology at 4 different levels. Micro learning makes learning 70% more effective. E-learning requires 40-60% less employees' time. Learning retention rates improve to as high as 60%. It is scalable and has a wider research. Another important thing she told us, utilizing high quality multimedia content increases student understanding and technology understanding, and provide an impressive virtually immersive experience. It's like a mandatory shift is needed for the teacher to upgrade themselves with these changing times we have to be. Another important session was taken by Dr. Ramneet Kaur. She is a working as assistant professor in Department of Business Management, GNIMT Ludhiana. She emphasized on understanding students' perspective, a prerequisite for effective teaching, and how do they feel, what they expect from us. She has given us 4 pillars of justice: behavioral justice, social social psychosocial justice, procedural justice, environmental justice, and professional justice. What they expect is a justice. It's about all about some angel versus some villains. Uh, what students want, they behavioral, psychosocial justice and professional justice. And under a behavioral, the enthusiastic sense of humor, energetic but not lazy, assertive, polite but not rude, affable, Another thing, psychosocial respect, not humiliation, trust, not suspicion, compassion, not indifferences, conflict resolution, not discarding, and enabling, not labeling. That is again a very important aspect. Another thing, we talking about environmental justice, that means discipline and proximity control and eye contact is very important. Under the professional justice, knowledge transmission is there, skill, media and pedagogy is there, quality content should be there, and the X factor like life skills and awareness is there if we are talking about the students point of view. And do the self control, say, understand, be authentic. You raise yourself before you raise your students. Work toward excellence, not superiority. Discipline is there. Transfer and radiate positive energy. Spread positivity. Be an egoless creature. Second day, the last session was taken by Dr. Parampal Singh. He is Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Business Administration, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College. And his expert topic was on role of learning mechanism in effective teaching. And understanding, he has given a very good quotation by B.F. Skinner. Teacher must learn how to teach only things they need to be taught in an effective manner of ensuring learning among the students. Behavioral modification is there, continuation is there, active as well as passive learning is should be there, transferable, essential. It is very important for a growth and development, not necessarily positive. And he has given us some models of learning. One is nail faming model work, visual, auditory, reading, writing, kinesthetic. These things has already given by is in the Dr. Sapal Batra session. Through 7 law of learning, then that's again a very important: exercising, effect, intensity, coordinating, recency, primacy, readiness. That's again a very important aspect. A teacher must understand the fundamental of learning to make teaching more effective. Multiple modalities should be used for the effective teaching. Reinforced reward and punishment system. Punishment would be there. Create environment of condition learning for the students, very important. And we have to try and break the monotony to make every student's listening attentively. Give live modeling lecture or verbal instruction modeling should be there. Generate attention of the audience, make them return what they are listening or learning. Continuous motivation shall be there when we are talking about making our teaching more effective. On the third day, that is the 10th December, at 9:30, the session was taken by Dr. Sonia Chawla, Associate Professor, Department of Humanities and Management, NIT Jalandhar, and she has given a very interesting session on mitigation strategy for post-COVID challenges for engineering institutes in India. It's a very it was a very important session. What are the strategies we have to work on? This strategies during that COVID lockdown period. Sluggish across border movement of students, major financial risk for universities who are already under financial pressures. Passive learning by students, they demand high level of motivation, commitment and self-regulation. Unprepared lecture for online education, absence of online dedicated platform specially designed for the purpose. We need to be redefine the online platform for our students. Changing format of students recruitment, risk of losing student that will need to relook at their admission practices, admission criteria and overall processes. Non-availability of e-learning solutions. Assessment of students after imparting them education through digital medium. Impact of fall in employment, it's there. And distant learning, we can say MOOCs are there. Their technology readiness, content readiness is there. Pedagogical home based learning is there. Monitoring and evaluation readiness is there when we are talking about MOOCs courses. The third day, the second session was taken by Dr. Pratha Pratim Roy. He's Associate Professor, Computer Sciences and Engineering, IIT Roorkee. and the session was on introduction to machine learning. Two type of learning in artificial intelligence when we are saying one is deductive reasoning, another one is a inductive reasoning. And deductive, we know a type of logic which one goes from journal statement to a specific instance. Inductive, that is some series of specific cases are there to make a journal statement. This in conclusion is an inductive argument is never granted. That means something, some part is missing is there in a inductive reasoning. Decision tree learning example, here he has given a very good example of 10 attributes in decision tree learning examples. Alternate bar, Friday, Saturday, yes or no, hungry, are you hungry, yes or no, patrons, how many are seated in the restaurant, price, raining, reservation type, wait. These are the decision tree learning examples he has given. On the on the third day, the third session was taken by Dr. Rajat Agrawal. He's Associate Faculty Coordinator, IIT Roorkee. He emphasized on ethics and IPR in interdisciplinary research. It's again a very important topic of today's discussion or today's environment. What is IPR? We all know intellectual property right is a term referring to creation of the mind, such as invention, literacy, artistic work, design, and symbols, names, and images used in a commerce. Again, very important thing. What are the types of IPR? We all know copywriting, trademarks are there, patent, industrial design, rights, trade secrets are there. What are the importance of IPR when we are talking about interdisciplinary, interdisciplinary research? IPR providing us a competitive edge, protecting from innovation, economic value will be there if we are having a IPRs. Global standing of economy is there, protection of result of a particular research is there. Ethics, according to Linda Elder, ethic is a set of concepts and principles and that guide us in determining what behavior harms and what helps sentient creature. What are the types of ethics? Professional ethics, business ethics, religious ethics, social ethics, and personal ethics. The last session of third day was taken by Dr. K.S. Maan, Professor, Department of IT Department, GNDC Ludhiana, System Analysis and Decisions in Engineering Education. Again, when we are talking about system design, here are the things are there according to the time. We are having an idea. After that, we are planning analysis, decision and implementation. After that, we are operating and security and support will be there at the last moment. The system development life cycle, that means a series of steps used to manage the phases of development of information. Then we are having a system development life cycle used to plan and manage the system development processes. Life cycle can be thought as a curricular process in which the end of the life of one system lead to the beginning of another project. SDLC is not necessary to be sequentially ordered. Set of phases, specific step and their sequence are meant to be adaptive as required for a project. By using the SDLC system, that means we complete some activities in one phases in a parallel with some other activities of another phases are there. Another thing, classification, waterfall model, feasibility study, requirement analysis, design, coding, testing, and maintenance is there. System development life cycle. These are include the following steps: system planning, system analysis, again a very important things. System design, system implementation, system operation and support and security. On the fourth day, the first session was taken by Mr. Soni Goel. He's a managing director of My Career Founder Prayas, teaching as a new normal in learning. Keep in mind while doing the teaching, tell teacher to teach you that things which have not been learned yet. Life is very short. Start living today. Whatever the best is introduced to the students. Road reversal is there, makes your students ask good, bad, or very good questions. And another session was taken by Dr. Indrapreet Sandhu. She is a assistant professor, Department of Psychology, Punjab University, Patiala. The session was on qualities required for an outstanding teacher. What are the qualities that we need to acquire for an outstanding teacher? Knowledge is their personality, skills, and communication. Role of understanding is not to spark their students' curiosity and fuel their love for learning. That again a very important thing. How to involve the students while teaching. Another for the fourth session was taken by fourth or fifth session was taken by Dr. P.K. Tulsi. She is a professor, Education Department, NITTT Chandigarh. And the third session, she emphasized the instructional strategy for teaching. What are the skills we required as a teacher? Intellectual skill, technical skill, employability skill, and life skills. These are the competencies, knowledge, skills, attitude, employment. These are the competency. These are the skill required. Another, she has taken a very good example of Bloom's taxonomy, how to create a evaluating, when synthesizing, analysis, application. When we are talking about new term, creating, evaluating, analyzing, applying, understanding, and remembering. The last session is also taken by was taken by Dr. P.K. Tulsi, the qualities for effective teaching. She reviewed the qualities for an effective teaching. We have to understand the learners and we have to build a good relation with our students. High expectations are there. Reward, appreciation, recognition should be there when we are talking for our students. Challenges, curiosity, goals, inspire and motivate, and encourage creativity, experimentation is there. Good communication is there. Another on the fifth day, the first session was taken by Dr. Indrapreet Sandhu. She is assistant professor, Department of Psychology, Punjab University, Patiala. She has deliberately given the session on paradigm shift for teachers and for professional development, branding of institutions. Paradigm shift. She talked about what are the things we required uh, for a teaching for our profession. That again a very important thing. How to use a new what we call say new tools. How we know how we need to again learn so many good things. Whatever MOOCs are there. Some new softwares are there. This again it's a paradigm shift for the teachers and a professional development. The last session, second session of fifth day was taken by Dr. S.S. Gill. He is a professor and head electronics and communication engineering department, NITTT at Chandigarh. He deliberately taken this topic, branding of institutions as a tool to enhance learning experience. Again, a very important thing. Branding is a very important thing when we are talking about uh, as a of our institute, how to build a how to make a logo, how to branding of the institution is very important for a for institutions. The next session was taken by third session of fifth day was taken by Dr. Aarti Joshi. She is a director, School of Management, RK University, Gujarat. Experiential classrooms, very live examples were there in this session. If you listen that particular sessions, the last fifth day of Saturday, last session was taken by Dr. Binder P.S. Chahal, Associate Professor, University School of Business, Chandigarh University, Chandigarh, incorporating analytic skills in engineering students through case study teaching. Again, it's a very important when we are talking about engineering students as per corporate. What are the skills required? Here the communication, interpersonal skills, problem solving, technical skills, analytical skills, motivation, industry knowledge, attention to details, teamwork ability, leadership and management skill. That's why we are introducing and we are saying now Now fields are going to be interdisciplinary. These things also covered in a management, and we have to introduce, we have to be engineering as a introduce a subject in engineering also. Teaching with the case study, the case itself and the discussion of that particular case, the two elements are very important. Teaching case is a rich narrative in which individual or group must make a decision and solve a problem. Teaching case is not a case study of the type in academic research. Teaching cases provide information but neither analysis nor conclusion. Analytical work of explaining the relationship among events in the case, identifying option, evaluating choices, predicting the effect of actions is the work done by the students during the classrooms. What are the guidelines for using a case study in class? What is the issue? What is the goal of analysis? And what is the content of the problem? What key facts should be considered? What alternatives are available to the decision maker? What would you recommend and why? These are the guidelines while using a case study in the classes. Some guidelines should be there. Innovative approach to some case analysis that have been students' role, play the part of the people involved in that particular case. It's not only actively engaging student but force them to really understand the perspective of the case characters. Videos or even field trips shown the venue in which the case is situated can help students to visualize the situation that they need to analyze. On the sixth day, the first session was taken by Dr. Amit Kamra. He is serving as assistant professor in Department of IT, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. His topic is on designing learner-centric MOOCs. Again, MOOCs is called a massive open line online courses. What are the ingredients of the MOOCs? Learner-centric MOOCs model, LED learning dialogues, LXD learner extension trajectories there, learning by doing, LBD, LXL, learning experience interactions there. These things has been discussed on that day. The sixth day, second session was taken by Soni Goel. Teacher as a learner, realizing teachers' potential. Again, it's a very important thing for us to be a teacher. We need to realizing our potentials, what to be done in the classrooms, what issues and things to be discussed in the class. That again a very important aspect of a teacher. When we are saying teaching is a very important thing. Another Jasprit कर रही हो? Yes, ma'am. Teacher on the sixth day, second session was sorry. This third session was taken by Dr. Sanjeev Sharma. That is emerging trend in technical education issues and challenges. The issues was emerging trend. Yes. He emphasized on the VUCA, the normal VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty are there when we are talking about challenges and technical issues. For us, technology labeled learning dimensions of research, interconnector, interdependency, interdisciplinary environment. Another thing we say we quote or calibrating research for industry applicability, finding the right fit, indispensable ethical dimensions are there, lessons for successful organization. He talk about what are the lessons we have to learn from the successful organization, charting the future landscape. That again a very important thing when we are talking about the overview of that presentation. Another when we are talking about the paradigm shift in teacher education, developing countries perspective, virtual classes are there, global communication, global integration of economies, distance learning, corporate classrooms are there, tele courses including e-course, EduSet is there, statewide review of fund, quality and impact, pressure for institutional merger and acquisition is there, increased competition among institution of higher study, higher education for scarce resources. Again, it's again a very important thing for ourselves. as an institution, we need to take care of all the things. As a teacher, we have to see what is happening around us these days. Another session again taken by Dr. Sanjeev, was taken by Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, managing HEIs and the era of uncertainty, lesson from successful organization. Again, a very important aspect he has covered. After that, we are having a benchmarks. We have to fix our benchmarks and imbibing lesson from the best practices, both convergent and divergent from the education institutions, and divergent we need to get it from the different industries also. Learning relies enhances regular skill upgradation, and nurturing talent of faculty and staff is there. The most valued commodity is the human imagination. That is again a very important aspect of our for our life, or we can say another important aspect he covered. He has discussed customer relationship management. We need to be responsiveness, culture of service, improving service delivery, feedback from different stakeholder, whether they are students, whether they are industry, or whether any other group we are involving in our education. Understanding what they want to learn, not just what we want to teach. Transparency and accountability, some kind of audit should be there, quality checks are there. That's why we can say how we going to manage a higher quality education, and in the era of uncertainty. Another on 7th day, Tuesday, the first session was taken by Dr. H.S. Dhal, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College. He emphasized on the virtual communication and pedagogy. That again, a important aspect of teaching, whether they engineering or management. How we going to present our things in front of students, whether through ppts or whether in some another way. That again, it's a very important aspect while preparing our lectures for the students. On the 7th day, second session was taken by Dr. Subhajit Rao, preparing your lecture or plotting a story, learning from the science of storytelling. Again, a very important session. It was very interesting session that is taken by Dr. Subhajit Rao. He emphasized how we have to prepare the sessions, how we need to how we are going to plot the what we can say plot the lectures, a story, how we going to relate everything thing in that particular class. And then the third session was taken by Professor Puneet Narang, Assistant Professor, Department of Applied Sciences, GNDC Ludhiana. Empathetic communication was adoption of learner centric approach. Again, a very important thing, how we have to empathetic, how the communication will take place when we are talking about students and teachers. Active listening is not only listening to the word rather than trying to understanding a meaningfully message being communicated. It is being attentive, what is being said, what is left unsaid, what is being emphasized, what is being denied. Again, important aspect of empathetic communication. What are the things we involve in active listening? And we need to attend the non-verbal behavior of a speaker. We need to know, we encourage and resilience appropriate amount of questioning should be there. Identify your own emotions and feeling, how does it feel. It helps to you respond and connect, employing reflective skill, paraphrasing, summarizing. Again, a very important aspect. See clarity. Can you tell me more about what are you saying? That means this is the clarification question that we have to ask from our student side. That means we are as a listener, as a teacher, and roadblock to listening, maybe like bias, arguments is there, so many question, tone, judgment, quick resolution, advice, labeling, generalization, diverting from the topic, scheduling, distraction. That should be avoided while interacting with the students. The last session of 7th day was taken by Dr. T. Ravichandra, professor. He's a professor in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Kanpur. He talked about teaching through MOOCs. Again, a very important aspect. Challenges, what are the challenges and opportunity we are facing today? He told about the MOOCs options available for us and for the students. It is again a paradigm shift in education. Teacher centered to teachers, student centric, just in case. Just a need that we can say online mod is there when we are talking about a paradigm shift in education during this pandemic time. We are taking online mod classes for the students, and some part is missing from our side, some part missing from the student side also. Again, it is a paradigm shift. On the 8th day, what is open and online courses are there, exactly like a course you teach on campus, course study on certain dates, course duration, lecture every week, tutorial, discussion every week, course and on certain day, except that everything unfold to an open online portal, start day, end day, course duration, videos of lecture, particular lectures, every week online assignment, assessments, online discussion forum are the part of this particular MOOCs courses. Another massive open line courses. A lot of students taking the classes are free. No attendance is necessary. It's all online. MOOCs emphasize key feature of a class. Some idolation, engagement with the material, networking with the students. Again, it's a type of online course aimed at a large scale interaction, interactive participation, and open access. That is called it's a MOOC. On the 8th day, Wednesday, the session was taken by Dr. Pavinder P.S. Jail, Associate Professor, University School of Business, Chandigarh University. The session was on techniques for bridging gap between academics and industry. Again, a very important aspect in our engineering and management field. We have to bridge the gap between the industry, what the industry require, what the industry requiring from our side, from our end. One of the appropriate approach is to tackle the problem of lacking skill and job readiness is the partnership between the industry and academia. While predicting the nature of the job that would be available in the future is very difficult, but the effort to prepare people for the job should continue. And this transition from campus to office may not always be a very smooth one, primarily because of the gap between what the industry expect and what the academy dishes out. That again, a important thing. Many blue chip corporates who recruit from campuses and having to train new recruits from 4 to 6 months before putting them on the job. They try to finish the unfinished job of academic institution of delivering productive resources. That again, and we have to train our students according to the industry requirement. Uh, as they recruiting the students, and they giving a 4 or 6 months training before giving the particular job. That again a gap. And let's delve into some of the way how industry and academia can work together to bridge that gap. Alignment of curriculum with the industry requirement. We have to emphasize on the skill based education. Whatever the skills required in the industry, we need to inculcate in our curriculum also. uh, that means we have to give the exposure through internship, live project, and corporate interaction. Upskilling the faculty is very much required. Active participation by the industry. In each week, one specific industry should be there, and one company should be interact with the students. That kind of the activity should be there in our curriculum. Conceptual clarity is very much important. We need to improve PTR to communicate effectively, and another important aspect is a teamwork. Again, how these kind of things to bridge the gap between academia and industry. That was emphasized by Dr. P.S. Chahal. Uh, On 8th day, the second session was taken by Dinesh Anand, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College. Understanding students' learning style and effective teaching. Again, an important thing. What are the particular learning style? We have to adapt while giving the lectures to our students, while delivering online teaching lessons to the students. Again, an important aspect. And the third session of that day was taken by Dr. Leenu Anand, Technology Transfer Teaching and Learning. Again, a very important aspect she covered. She's a professor, assistant professor in Shri Aurobindo College of Commerce and Management. She talked about what are the things that we have to adapt while teaching and learning for a betterment. That again an important aspect. After that, we are having a next session that was taken by Mandeep Kaur Khosa, assistant professor, Department of Business Administration, GNDC Ludhiana. She emphasized how we have to prepare for the future. What are the things we have to learn that will be for the betterment of the students in the future also. That what are the particular things we have to learn and what are the technological aspects we have to learn while giving the lectures and session to the students. Another ninth day, Thursday, the first session was taken by Dr. Sukhdev Singh, Dean Research, CT University. He covered the motivational leadership techniques and insights to the students. We all know what are the motivational things that we have to inculcate in our students, how to get things done from the student side, and what are the leadership technique we have to use for the students to upbring them, and how they lead the group, how they work within a group or teams. That was discussed by Dr. Sukhdev Singh. Another second session of ninth day was taken by Dr. Sanjeet Pradhan. He is a assistant professor, IIM Trichypoli. Importance of interdisciplinary teaching and learning. Again, an important aspect. We have to interact and we have to learn 2 or 3 subject and to collaborate with the other subjects also, other expertise subjects. That's again a very important aspect in 21st century. Another thing, on ninth day, third session was taken by Dr. Anupama Sharma. She is a professor in Dr. S.S. Patnagar University Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. She emphasized the preparing effective research proposal. What are the things we need to inculcate while preparing a proposal and sending to some particular agency for different kind of grants. When we are talking about research proposal, your proposal should be very important document. Funding agency will decide to finance your project and not from what they read and not from what they read. Any proposal should show thoughtful planning. That again an important aspect while we are planning to get some kind of grant from the institutions, from the national and international agencies like AICTE, UGC, any other UNESCO. Something thoughtful planning should be there while applying for some kind of a grant. Another important aspect on that day, the last session was taken by Dr. Kartika VK, assistant profession NIT Trichypoli. On that day we have some technical glitches. Some technical glitches are there and were there, but anyhow we have managed and we got that her lecture in our in a particular Google Drive, and we have shared with you also. That means a self-directness in teaching and learning and ethical. What are the ethical perspective? A critical interpretation of self-directness. Again, a very important thing that we have covered in Madam's session. She emphasized the self-direction as a continuous exercise by the learner of authentic control over the decision having to do with the learning. Self-direction is the ability to gain, assess, and choose from a full range of available and appropriate resources would be there when we are talking about self-directions. It is again ethical for us What is learn? What are the processes in self-directness? She emphasized. The first step, we have to see the assessed readiness to learn. Second is set learning goal. Third one is engage in the learning processes. Fourth, we have to evaluate the learning things. These are important steps she discussed in the self-directness. What are the things assess readiness to learn? Involve students conducting a self-evaluation from their current situation. Signs of readiness for self-directed learning, including being organized, being disciplined, able to communicate effectively, able to accept constructive feedback, and engage in self-evaluation and self-reflection. Hope you all are you have got that particular session in your YouTube access. We also having official YouTube. We have shared the links also there in our FDP WhatsApp group. You will get all the things of ma'am session. We have already shared with you all the session. And in the step 2, set learning goals for the unit of study. Structure and sequence of activities should be there. Timelines for the completion of activity, details about resource material for each goals, detail about grading procedures are there when we are talking about set learning goals. Another important aspect she shared with us, the feedback and evaluation as a goal is completed. Feedback and evaluation is a very important thing that we have to discuss with our meeting plan with the advising instructor is very much important, and we have to set that particular things. Agreement of unit policies should be there. Another important aspect is once created contract should be assessed by advising faculty member. Any question about feasibility should be raised. What could go wrong? Is there a too much or too little work is there? That means is the timeline evaluation reasonable is there? All these steps. And in the third step, engage in the learning processes. What are the things that we have to should ask from shouldn't ask, consider answering the following question: what are my need? Restructural method. What was my favorite teacher? Why? Who was my favorite teacher? Why? And what did they do that was different from the other teachers? What they did do they We have to ask these questions from our students. How to engage and engage in the learning processes, to engaging the students in the learning processes. And the students should reflect on these questions throughout their program and substitute teacher with the advising instructor. As today's we are following that term is mentoring is there, and we introduce a mentor word in our curriculum these days. If you see our curriculum these days, we are taking a one session with our students as a mentor. 4 and 5 students are there under mentoring groups. Students' roles: self-assessing readiness to learn. They have to define the learning goals and develop the learning contract, monitoring learning processes, take initiative for all stages of learning processes, be self-motivated, re-evaluate, alter goal are required during the unit of a study. Another important thing, evaluate learning. Again, an important aspect. And for student to be successful in self-directed learning, they must able to engage in a self-reflection and self-evaluation of their learning goals and progress in a unit of study. To support their self-regulation process, they should regularly consult with the advising instructor or mentors, seek feedbacks, engage in a reflection of their achievement, which involve asking the different kind of questions. How do I know I have learned? Am I flexible and adapting and applying knowledge? Do I have confidence in explaining material? These things are there when we are talking about evaluating learning. What do I know I have learned in when is the time? These things we have to discuss with the students, and we have to involve the students. On the 10th day, the first session, the 10th day, the first session was taken by Dr. Nupama Sharma. She is a professor with Dr. S.S. Patnagar University Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. What are the sources of fund for the researchers? We know she explained in a very good way. She emphasized what are the sources where we get that funds from the for our innovative ideas, what we want to get the funds from the different institutions. So many institutions are there who are ready to fund us, who are giving our money to explore the new things, and want to implement in their institutions also. And she nicely present that what are the funding agencies are there, and who the people who want to fund for our researchers. Another important thing, important uh, important session that was taken by Mr. Ritesh Arora, Assistant Vice President International Sales, Hero Ecotech Limited. She emphasized on the industry demand and students' expectation. What the students are expecting from the industry, and what the industry want from the student side. Again, how to interact with the industry experts, and how student engage with that industry. That again was a consideration of Mr. Ritesh Arora. Third session on 10th day that was taken by Dr. Amit Kamra. Amit Kamra, Learning Content Management System, courseware creation using Moodle. He has given a very good example of GNE, as we are using a specific LMS design system. Now, how we administration, documenting, tracking, reporting, automation, delivery of education courses, training program. Again, it's a systematic application of a software that again we are using here in a LMS. Very important aspect for online courses. And Moodle, you all know it is a open line. Open sources of applications are there that develop in PHP under general public licensing. It facilitated online collaboration and discussion, self-paced and collaborative courses. When we are talking about features of a Moodle, that is 24/7 access is there, student collaboration is there. It is again a communication tool, and we can make the reports from and again it's a assessment tools. These are the feature or general features of that particular tool, Moodle. What are the assessment tools? MCQ, multiple, true, false, fill in the blank, drag and drop, matching, all the things that he has discussed. Gamification, crossword, millennia, Sudoku, and another one is a collaboration feedback discussion forum is there, feedback and surveys there while using a Moodle. It's again a very important aspect of our education. Another thing, the last session was on that day taken by reference management using Medley. This session was taken by Dr. Leenu Anand, Assistant Professor, Sri Aurobindo College of Management and Commerce. It's again she told about what are the things, how we use the Medley for our research work, how to do the research, how do the analysis by using a Medley. Another thing, on the 11th day, the session was taken by me, innovation on transformative education. What are the things that we have to be before we are having a black and boards, after that we are having a different things, now we are having online system, again a very important aspect. Whenever talking about transformation education, that means we are transferring from blackboard to whiteboard, then projector screen to Google assignment, then now we are having a virtual classes. It requires commitment of faculty and academics. Some efforts are there, some motivational points are there, creative content should be there, and some good ideas, innovative ideas are there. Impact, we can say high quality educators are there, customized experience is there, worldwide audience is there. Now these days, so many online classes are there. When the student want to take the classes from a good teacher, something is very customized things are there in the these days. Worldwide audience, boosting digital equity and modular learning is there when we are talking about transformative education. Another, how to be innovative and transform education, that we have to be, life is very short. We have to enjoy our profession. We are here because of our choice. It is not to be compulsory to be in this profession. We have to be very creative using decision thinkings and situations. Let students to take risk and fail. Make students expect more from you. Involve them in group discussion, team building activities, that again are very important in these days. How to creating how to involving your students while they are sitting at home, how you giving that particular kind of assignment, they how to engage them. That's again a very important thing. Now after that, 41st session that was taken by Dr. Satinder Kumar, assistant professor, Punjab's University, Patiala. He emphasized on what are the e-learning strategy in education. That again, important thing while we are talking about pedagogy, while we are talking about some methodology, some tools, and that e-learning strategy is a very important aspect. Here, what are the e-learning strategies? E-learning, that means we have to register ourselves in so many courses are there, edX is there, so many platforms are there, where we can involve ourselves in teaching and learning processes. 42nd leg session that was taken by Dr. Vandana Sharma. You all know ICT tool in education. Yeah, I know these are there on online presentation when we are talking about cloud-based things. Now the 42nd session that was taken by Dr. Vandana Sharma. She's a professor emeritus, Akal University, Bathinda. Yeah. Social psychological dynamics of effective teaching. She present very nicely the things. Maybe some teachers are not a good researchers, some are good researchers, some are good teachers, but some are both. Though we cannot compare each and everyone with each on every platform. And social psychological dynamics for effectivity is a very important aspect. After that, we are having a industry expert talk that was taken by Mr. Sushil Chandra. He's an engineer and manager, TCS Limited India. He discussed very nicely about business 4.0. Again, a very important now these days. Now we are talking about education 4.0. Some innovation parts are there. That means we are taking classes online. We are talking about different platforms we are using these days, whether they are GoToMeeting app or some Cisco WebEx is there. That means now we have during this pandemic time, we have learned so many new things in our field. So I am very much what we can say, very much influenced by using these kind of new tools while teaching online. And that's all about the sessions and everything. 43 sessions were there in the FDP. So hope all you have enjoyed and learned something new from this AICT sponsored. It's all about AICT quality improvement scheme. Under this scheme, we have received this grant for this particular FDP, Faculty Development Program. So hope today I've concluded each and every single thing with you. Whatever we have learned from last 12 or 15 days, now have concluded today. So please here, and 11:30 we are sharing a feedback form, feedback, and we have shared a feedback over here. Please log in there and fill the feedback form of this session also. And we are sharing a feedback of overall FDP form, 2-week faculty development program here. Please fill that form, please. And we are sharing the same in our WhatsApp group, WhatsApp FDP group. Please be there at 11:30 and share your feedback about this program. Hope you all enjoyed. You learned a lot from this faculty development program. We are just getting your responses, what you have learned, and what we have done from last 15 days. Hope you enjoyed and learned from this session. Thank you very much. We'll see you here at 11:30, and at 12:50 we are sharing the test that is conducted by Project Monitoring Committee PMC of Faculty Development Program. So be there at 11:30. After that, 12:50 we are sharing a link of for the test. That is a mandatory, that is a very much mandatory to get that certificate. 80% attendance plus 60% score in the test that we are sharing with you at 11:50. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thanks a lot. Please be there at 11:30. 11:30 we are sharing a feedback, ma'am. Dr. Shruti Agarwal, we are sharing a feedback form
Already,
here, and
we have already filled the
done.
feedback.
Okay, then we will starting a test at 12:50, and the question that we are that project monitoring committee get from the experts only, and we have the question from each and every experts. We have get the questions from the experts only.
So
12:50 we are you can leave now, and 11 if you have done the feedback, please you can go, and 12:50 we are sharing your test link here and your WhatsApp group also. But after some time, after 1 hour, we are closing the link at 2, right? Till 3 we opened the link till 3 for test.
okay.
1 2 3 is there. After 3 we are going to close that link,
Okay, fine.
and 3:30 we are having a valedictory session. Please be there at 3:30. All the queries, everything are very much welcomed here. You can give me the feedback and query, any kind of question that you want to ask from us. Please feel free to ask us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.